Good morning, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you happen to be. This is a new kind of like just a real quick show. Shouldn't be on too terribly long, but we're going to call it a power hour. We'll probably be around that long as I'll get to talking. But we have been primarily an eBay seller for a long time, and we are moving over to Whatnot, hopefully what will be full time. What's up, Dog Tiff? And so what this show is just I'm taking like 15, 20 items at a time from eBay, and I'm moving them over to Whatnot. So I wouldn't run these as an auction and move them out and all that, but this is also like my bookstore inventory, but I wanted to have my inventory over on Whatnot as well, some of the nicer stuff. So absolutely no obligation to purchase. If you want to geek out and nerd out and just enjoy some nicer books, and we'll chat about them. I am recording this. I'm going to throw this on YouTube, cut it up for TikTok and all of that stuff, really just to kind of get these books out there into the universe so people know I have them, because they're cool. And I do have a tendency to have more curated book shows because I do primarily run as like a boutique bookstore kind of. And so anyway, I'm going to shut the hell up, and I'm just going to get to the books. So good morning to everybody that just came in. Real chill show. Feel free to kick back, relax, bounce around. I'm just going to show these books and nerd out, like I said. Tomorrow night, we're doing a big auction, and that was going to be cool already. A ton of Stephen King. And then right after that, we are doing an old shit show on Saturday night. And these will both be auctions with low starts, but this is not those shows. So feel free to come and go as you please. I know people will be bouncing in and out, but I'm just going to go over the books. So, I may not even go over all of them. But these will be available in the marketplace right after the show, and of course during the show. And then eventually, if I have them for too long, we'll get them discounted and stuff. This is a 1936 Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the story behind this book is that they released it at around the same time they released the movie. Story and pictures by the staff of Walt Disney Studio, David McKay. And if you'll notice, we have a couple of McKay books in here. They're always really, really badass on the illustrations. So I have only ever seen this copy of this book. I have had it for a little bit. I originally listed it well over $100. And I have discounted it, and I will continue to hold on to it until I find the person that really wants it. But it's super rare, super cool. Graphics are still nice and bright. You're not going to see too many of these floating around. So, and I haven't had it that long. But, we got repairs to do, so we got to move some books. So that is really cool. That will be available. And we might pop it out every now and then to kind of nerd out and look at it. This actually just came in today. This is a Wilkie Collins, The Moonstone, a Franklin mystery. One of the things I did want to just chat about Franklins in general, and a shout out to Lord Jupiter if you ever watch this, and your ability to get Franklins and Eastons very easily. Franklins and Eastons are generally your nicer printed books. They usually either reprint a book that's really, really worth reprinting, something really famous like The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I think this book was originally written, in the 1800s. So, but if you're watching a book show, chances are you're likely already familiar with Franklin and Easton presses. So just a really nice copy of a classic story. So there is that. Hey, Steve, what's up, Ninja? We're just hanging out. Easton, Franklin, and Folio. Hell yeah, man. They're all great. This show, we're just kind of chilling out. I'm kind of creating some YouTube content, to be fair, and just showing off some of the nicer books. I'm moving some things off of eBay and onto Whatnot, and I'm hoping to just kind of make Whatnot more my home, streamline my processes, and even become even faster, do more shows. This is really cool. The Sherilyn Kenyon Stygian, this Dark Hunter series, it's got like 30-something books in it. And this one just happened to be signed. So, is it? Am I crazy? Is it? Oh, yeah, there it is. I was like, wait a minute. I'm nuts. That's all right. Even though I've been told I can't say I'm nuts. I should use another way to describe myself. But, anyway, so very cool. I'm not overly familiar with who this is, but obviously signatures are always really cool and always a nice addition to any collection. So, you know what I mean? What's up, Jeff? We're just kind of hanging out, showing off some nerd books. Feel free to hang out, come and go as you please. This here is Faulkner. I have 2 Faulkners in here. Obviously classic. His writing, I'm not actually overly familiar with it. I have not read it personally. He writes narrative fictions that are more, I think, based in like Southern culture, which I'm not overly fascinated by. Not that it isn't great, but I like nerdier places, but and little, and I like stuff like 1984 and Animal Farm, and I'll read some Steinbeck, but yeah, not too much. But anyway, these are really nice. These are book of the month clubs. These are always really collectible. They reprint generally the whole set. I want to say Steinbeck has a series of book of month clubs too, and that are really nice. It's like a blue cover. So these are in here. Very classic author. And don't let me poo-poo him. He is obviously one of the most classic authors ever. I'm sure he's fantastic. I've just not personally read him myself. I'm always overly honest. Did you get my last message by any chance? Probably. I can't remember what it was. Was that, I can look real quick. Let me see here. I don't want to miss any messages. I'm really bad at messages. I'm that guy that has like, the huge number over his like email notifications. Do you know what I'm saying? We're far now. Hey brother, got the Hobbit today. Oh, cool. Yeah. See, but they usually give another week to school. I paid on June 5th. So between now. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm always around. And if we need to finagle some numbers around to make everything, like fair, like, I'm in. Just let me know what your needs are. I'm always around hanging out in my book cave. So we have the Faulkners, the Kenyon. We already showed the Snow White. What's up, Fairbid? Alyssa, Rarity Estate. We're just kind of hanging out. I'm moving stuff from eBay over to Whatnot. Again, Whatnot is by far and away my favorite place to hang out. This is really cool. The Oldest Living Confederate Widow Tells All. And it's another book of the month selection. The title alone is super cool. My wife is, and a lot of you have seen her. She is from the South. She was actually named after the Gone with the Wind character. That's how like South she is. So I had the honor once of meeting her grandma, who wasn't quite old enough to be a Confederate widow, I don't think, but was old enough to maybe be the daughter of one. And it was very interesting hearing things from an alternative perspective. So when I was out and about and I saw this, I was like, I got to pick this up. So it's here. It's cool. It's neat. Just fun. I like fun stuff. So it expires in 2 days. So I'll message you later tonight. No problem. We'll get it done real quick too. And I will be, tomorrow. I'm not going to the bins or sourcing or anything. Might pipe out for an estate sale, but we'll see. But I'll be here all day so we can get it wrapped up super quick for you, Mr. Ninja. Okay. So, this next one is Famous Fires by Hugh Cleaveley, which I thought was super neat. History is fun. I collect antique photos and stuff as well. So sometimes I'll come across like disaster photos, and not that, I wish there weren't any disasters, but they are kind of interesting to see how different eras and time respond to different things. And I don't know. It's fascinating. Society and how it solves its problems are fascinating. So Famous Fires, super cool there. This one I thought was pretty controversial, so I thought it would be kind of neat to talk about real fast. We had a large conversation about like appropriate information and the impact it has on society. I offer up to the conversation The Game: Penetrating the Secret Society of Pickup Artists. So again, like, is this, the information is out there and people use it. Do you use this book for good or for evil? Do you ban it? Obviously you don't ban it, but do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's interesting because information is just information, however it's packaged, So is it good to be aware of the game so you can defend yourself from it, but you can also use the same book to play the game? So, I don't know. Are you quitting the eBay? I'm not quitting eBay, but I don't have a back end system yet that also lists over to Whatnot. So I have like a ton of books. Actually, most of my books are not on Whatnot and are available. And I want to. There's a couple of programs that will cross post, and I'm gonna find those, but I once you commit to a database system, it can sometimes be quite difficult to move database systems. It's like growing up a Canon photographer and then having to sell all your Canon lenses to switch over to Nikon or some shit like that. Do you ever come across artwork from the Brothers Hildebrandt by any chance? That name does not sound familiar to me, so I can't say I have as of yet. But now that you've said it, I will. Did I say penetrating? Yeah, it did. It did, Jillian. It did. Sorry. You did get muted. I see that. But fortunately, it still comes on screen there, so you can still see it. The one that I used now is before I was on Whatnot. It's called List Perfectly. And I haven't really had it. Like, it's been a great program, but it's limiting insofar as that it doesn't. That red block is so big. It's like covering my whole head. I don't remember the ones off the top of my head where the ones that do Whatnot, but there are two, and I'll have to look them up. I can't remember. Can you show me and talk about Anne Frank? Heck yeah, it's in the title of the book. Yeah, no, I saw it. Yeah, this is a good tune. This is actually one of my favorite songs. And Datif, yeah. So penetrating the game. I thought, based on that conversation we had the other day, I thought I'd pull this off the shelf and just at least show it to you guys. Get a kick out of it. If nothing else, it's a conversation starter. You know what I'm saying? So what did you want to look at the end? Where is that? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So this is really cool. Obviously, if you guys have watched me for a while, I love banned books. I love kind of taking a glance at the most horrid things society has done and is capable of doing, and this definitely qualifies. The Diary of Anne Frank, the critical edition prepared by the Netherlands State Institute for War Documentation. So it's a biggin. But I think the first time I read this book was, photos, I guess, of where their entrance to the secret annex. So I guess this is the stairs up to where they were. Can you guys see that? Yeah. And obviously, if you're not familiar with Anne Frank, depending on how old you are and whether or not it's pretty famous. I'm sure that probably all of you are, but she was the young lady who was had to hide in an attic during World War II and the genocide of the Jewish people during that time when they were going like door to door. And so this was the diary. This is her here. It was a diary of this little girl, like during that time. So pretty wild shit. And like anything else, like I encourage everyone to read it. And if you haven't read it as an adult, I really encourage reading it as an adult. And especially if you've had kids, since you've read this, it really kind of hits different. When versus when you're like 12 and have to read it in middle school or whatever, versus, when you're in your 40s and you have 3 kids, two of which, one of which is older than the young girl here. So, sad story, man. This is not the highlight of humanity, but it's important that we don't shy away from this stuff because we need to know what terribleness we're capable of. That way we can always guard against it. And, anyway, current events don't really give me a whole lot of hope. So it's really important that we know this. Did I see some yellow? Oh, thank you for picking that up, Datif. This is a nice one. I think you'll be very happy with this. And very nice edition. And I had never seen anything prepared for the Netherlands State Institute for War Documentation. So, maybe they document it in this fashion to make sure that they had at least one edition that, can't be diluted, had all of the details. Like here, document examination and handwriting identification. So I guess they even went like the results of the document examination. So this is like a huge nerd copy. I like that. So yeah, I appreciate that. Very, very cool. So, and it is important. It is really important. It's important that, it doesn't matter what race, color, Killing people is bad. War and Peace by Tolstoy. Very, very classic. I actually have not read this. I have heard this is absolutely outstanding. I have also heard that that the title sounds way more intimidating than the actual read is, and it's a lot more consumable than you would think is what I've heard. So it's definitely on my list. But I have not gotten into it yet. This is an international collector's library. It was like a mid-century publisher. They're not quite as nice as the Franklin or their Eastons. They're kind of more like the equivalent to the Reader's Digest versions, which I think I have a copy of that somewhere too. Anyway, but War and Peace, nice binding, cool for a shelf. Stick it in that same vibe. Here's a nice copy of Gone with the Wind. I just love the fine bindings. This is again another mid-century kind of reprint of the finer. You guys have seen these. If you guys are book people, you've seen these. I kind of have a grading tier, with Eastons and Franklins at the higher end. Custom bindings probably S tier. Franklins and Eastons are probably A tier. Reader's Digest and international collectors libraries are probably A minus tier, B plus tier, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys think of things in gaming terms like that. Or in Pokemon cards, rare, uncommon, common, secret. Anyway, Letters to Judy, Judy Blume, What Your Kids Wish They Could Tell You. I think this is a nonfiction, biography, memoir kind of a thing, or a collection of the letters. Judy Blume's super famous. Her kid books, you can't keep them in stock. The older ones are super collectible. So, and I thought this was really neat, and it's in a really nice copy. So she's a neat lady. Ashley, could you bundle the Moonstone and the best poems for me? I could use my coupon for that. Yeah. This Moonstone here, and you're talking about the best poems. I got a couple of best poems. Are you talking about the Longfellow that I have? Is it for the Saturday night show? Where am I at here? Of the English language. Okay, so that one. I think I just listed the one you're talking about too, like this morning. I sourced it yesterday. Hold on, let me move this stuff and I can look that one up, and we'll make that for you real quick. Diabetic, my pleasure. Let me pull up the old inventory. All right. Dun, dun, dun. It's a good song. Is this REM? Is who this is? Oh, my pleasure, man. I appreciate you giving the books a home and supporting me. Not gonna lie, I got some home repairs to do in the same day, and I think it might be an electrical issue. I lost my hot water, and my thermostat broke, so I've got no hot water and no AC. So, but I've got a guy. Hopefully, he will help me out cheap. So I really do appreciate the support, especially today. What's up, Mr. Bookman? Mr. Goodman? Oh, yeah, no, it's all right, man. Shit happens. It's okay. I lost my train of thought, but it's all right. It's not if, it's when. You know what I mean? You just got to roll with it. I'm trying to pull up my inventory so I can pull in the stuff. Dun, dun, dun. They make it so weird to get to your inventory when you... There we go. Discard. All right. I think we're there. And you're talking about this book here. Let me go grab that real quick. This one here. From Chaucer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me pull that. And you want me to bundle this, right? Okay. How much do I have it in there for? All right, we'll figure it out. Or you just want me to put it in the same listing so you can, so the coupon will apply to both. Yeah. I could do that, no problem. Coupons, I love coupons. And if you guys ever need, so that one's $5, and what's the other one? $10. So, yeah. If you guys ever need me to combine something, I really appreciate the support. And if you guys have earned the coupons, you deserve to use them. So. You know what I mean? It's we call that positive reinforcement. Reward the behavior you'd like to see repeated, right? It's parenting 101. 15. Mr. Ninja. We got the Franklin. And let me delete those so I don't resell them because then I'll look like a butthead. And I don't want to look like a butthead. Franklin and then poems. All right. And then I'll deactivate those. All right. You should. Oop. Got a shipping profile. Sorry, it's taking me so long. How much would that weigh? Probably 2 to 3 pounds easy, right? Yeah. Condition pretty good. Sorry. All right, you are good to go in the buy nows. I think it's under Mr. Ninja. I don't know why I put Mr. Ninja. Did I put Mr. Ninja? Yeah, you're under as Mr. Ninja. I don't know why. I'm being super polite today, I guess. No. Don't feel bad for using a coupon, but no. You. No. just. I appreciate the support. You buying anything at all? I mean, buying any like things up to when you got the coupon has been a support. You know what? You could have paid for my water repair that I had to do before. The same guy that hopefully I can get to come out who did my water repair will come out and do these repairs. He's like super good at it, and he's a handyman, and he kind of like knows everything. So let me Easton Press. So he's a good dude. Easton Press. Oh, did I not? Oh, it's a Franklin. I keep writing in. Sorry, we'll keep looking at the books in here just a second, guys. Just a second. Deactivate. But if I don't like deactivate them now, I run the risk of selling it twice, and then I'll look like a butthead, and I don't want to look like a butthead. So it's very important to me to not look like a butthead. All right, so cool. Yeah, we'll get those out to you, my man. Yeah, no problem. I really appreciate the pickup. I literally picked up that Moonstone this morning. So that went quick. And the poems. I picked up both those books today, I think. So very fun. Anyway, so here's Kurt Vonnegut, a slapstick. This is like a dystopian comedy is how I understand it. And this is a first edition. You see the number in the corner here. This will probably end up in our Friday night show. At some point, you see the 1976 and the first Delacorte. This might be the first print of the Delacorte. Let me make sure I'm telling you right. I want to make sure I'm right. Is this Kurt Vonnegut Delacorte 1976 first print? But if you guys have not read Vonnegut, like he's like, some people love him, some people think he's overrated. I happen to really like him. I really enjoyed Children's Crusade. I've actually not read this, but it is absolutely on my list. Vonnegut, the person, as far as I know, is like pretty rad, and kind of a neat dude if you ever read about him. He's got a couple of stories that are just kind of really neat premises. Like he's in one of his own books, I think. A first edition, first printing of Kurt Vonnegut Slapstick or Lonesome No More. Delacorte Press, 1976. No. That's not. No, is it? Is it this? I'm confirming that this is a first, like a true first. You guys know to be careful. Sometimes it's a little tricky to identify what a true first is. So like if you're ever going to drop like bucks on a collectible book, I mean, obviously, really kind of double check to make sure that the true first that you're buying is the true first you think you're buying. Does that make sense? This is a first edition, first printing of Kurt Vonnegut's, published by Delacorte Press in 1976. This novel delves into themes of loneliness and human connection set against the backdrop of a post-apocalyptic America. Presented in its original hardcover format, Dust Jacket $7.95, which we do have. Valuable edition for collectors at Vonnegut's work in 20th century American literature. Okay, so that is confirmed. This is a first edition, first print, true first Vonnegut Slapstick. So very cool. I really like this book. Like, it's really hard for me not to keep this book, to be fair. So there's that one. This one here is really neat. Probably not the most valuable book in the world, but like I find these all the time, the Hitchcock stuff, but I always find them without the dust jacket. So I liked this one so much because the dust jacket was still rocking and rolling. So, and you got some Highsmith in there, and a bunch of other good ones. Here's the whole list. So if you're a Hitchcock collector looking for higher grade, let's call it, you have a little bit of shelf wear up in the corner, a little bit of, I wonder if that comes off. But by and large, pretty good shape. Pretty good shape. And I'm just glad that the dust jacket's there at all. So that's pretty cool. What else we got here? I'll show you just a couple more things to show you guys, and we're going to have our big Friday night show tomorrow night. I'm actually going to spend the rest of the day finishing that up. So this is cool. This isn't anything shocking or super rare or anything. Just a really nice box set. First editions of the 4. And yeah, not a whole lot to say about that other than it's nice. It's available. So we all know what that is. These are cool. Some 1880s Dickens. This Pollard and Moss are the publishers here. The gold is still kind of mostly there. You got, the corner there is a bit of a bummer, but this guy's been writing forever. Martin, I'm not familiar with this story, but really, really nice cover. And then, of course, the binding looks pretty good, especially for, of course, we know Tales of Two City. Sketches by Boz is pretty popular. We'll open this up. Little binding issue there. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We'll do these little mini shows, and I'm going to continue to just kind of pick 20 books off the shelf and just kind of wrote them in here. I am making them like cheaper than what I have them for on eBay because the fees are better over here. Everything is better on Whatnot, to be fair. Like I really dig Whatnot. So, and I've been meaning to do this for a long time. I tried to do this with like a database kind of like switch, and I really fucked it all up. So I'm gonna muscle it. So I figured it'd be cool to show you this stuff. As I brought it in to kind of highlight this stuff. And plus, we'll throw it on YouTube and we'll do some TikToks and shit. So Autobiography of Malcolm X of Grove Press. This was kind of around the same time as Martin Luther King, 1960 Civil Rights Movement. Obviously, he was a huge part of all that. I want to say he's Muslim. And part of the whole, anyway, you'll have to read the book. Anyway, Alex Haley, author of Roots, is the guy that helped him write it. I'm sure there's photos and stuff here. This is a pretty rare one. This is the only one of these I've ever seen. Allah is the greatest. Yeah, part of the Muslim brother. Here's Martin Luther King and him together. Not going to lie, I don't know a ton about this dude. So I hesitate to say anything. Ooh, damn. That's a little brutal. Didn't expect that. But yeah, he was assassinated, I believe. So anyway, that's that. If you're into civil rights and history, that's a pretty important one. Bonfire of the Vanities. I've actually not read this, but this is super, super popular. And this is a first edition, first print of this, I believe. And I do have another Tom Wolfe book in here, only because I had the other Tom Wolfe book in here, so I brought them in together. But this is probably the one that most people know him for. 1987. See here, there's a signed first edition of this book, has been privately reprinted by the Franklin Library. So even though this is like a first edition, to me, this isn't necessarily like a true first because the signed Franklin is probably your true first. Does that make sense? And I could be wrong. If you guys like strongly disagree with that, like feel free to tell me. So, and I know a bunch of authors, for a while they were releasing. So what else do we got to show you? Let me check the chat. We're just hanging out. Just followed you on TikTok. Awesome. Now, Ninja, just be aware, like I'm super nice on like Whatnot, but I can get a little testy on the other platforms. So please don't be like shell shocked. I get angry about some stuff. My wife, I'm very active in the disability space, civil rights space. You can't read as many books on philosophy and not get pissed off about the state of the world. So sometimes I read a news article or something and it sets me off. So, but I'm on the side of humanity. Just know that. And I don't like either side. So like if you happen to be on the right side, you're gonna hear some negative stuff about your side. If you're on the left, you're gonna hear a lot of negative stuff about your side. I'm an equal opportunity hater. So, and I'm not afraid to say it. They made a mistake when they gave me a microphone. Anyway, so I always try to warn people. I appreciate the patience, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but this is really neat because I started looking at this Alice in Wonderland. This book is really old. It's another David McKay, and if you see the phrase David McKay on it, it's really worth picking it up and flipping through it, because the guy just, as far as illustration goes, is just like, look at that. And this one I think is from the 1920s. It's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. I'll show you a couple more of the illustrations. This thing's wild. I think there's 10 total in here, and then some line ones. Some. Let me. This is a really neat book. I can't remember where I found this. It does have a binding issue. It probably needs some binding tape eventually. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Like, here's another one. The two little midget dudes. So there's 10 of these total. There's one that's really cool. It's like the dragon thing. I've shown this a couple of times. Here's another one. Really, really neat. Always worth going to, when you thrift store, if you see a shelf with old books, it's definitely, absolutely 100% worthwhile going to scan titles to make sure, because a lot of times they're getting them in, and they're just getting them in boxes at a time, and they're just throwing a price on it and putting it on the shelf. Like, we got to go in there and make sure that the real solid one, I mean, they should all be saved, don't get me wrong, but we need to go on there and make sure that the ones that, like this, get into the hands of someone who will really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? There's more. I want to find the Jabberwocky thing, but I can't find it. Sometimes I can't. I should have bookmarked them before I started the show, but I didn't think that far ahead. And now here we are. So, I showed you that one already. Here we go. Is this it? No, but that one's cool though. Look at that one. So really bright colors still in this one. Again, it has a binding issue. I currently think I might have the only one that's listed. I might have the other one. So here's the cards. I really want to find that Jabberwocky. It's bumming me out that I can't find it for you. I guess I could just look at the table. You know what? Why don't I just do that? I think there's a list that says this is your illustrations. Nope, maybe not. I thought it would be easy. Oop. One more flip through it. If I can't find it, we'll move on. It'll be okay. Yeah, I'm not finding it. Anyway, that's a really neat book. Was that the last thing I wanted to show you? Let's go back to the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs again, because I want to show that one more time. This is a 1936. It came out with the movie, and I want to say that Snow White is the first animated Disney movie that came out, and I want to say it came out in 1936. This book came out in 1937, excuse me. So it came out right at the same time, and it's actually produced by Walt Disney, like the staff. What does it say here? It's pretty neat. Story and pictures by staff of Walt Disney Studio. And again, it's by David McKay, the same guy who did the illustrations in this Alice over here. So very, very neat book. This is the only one of these I've ever seen. The collection I found this in also had multiple, really, really, I think this is the last one of that collection I have left. But it was like Uncle Remus and the Briar Rabbit. It had just a bunch of really neat movie related books that at first glance you would think they were just like normal kid books, but really cool book. I like showing this one off. But that's all I wanted to really do today, guys. We do have our show. We have this show on Friday night. We're going to probably have hopefully 100, 200 listings. Lots of Stephen King, Lauren Oliver, just a lot of like more recent fiction, non-fiction, just a lot of good stuff. Definitely check that out. And then the day after that, we're doing the old shit show. This is old antique books, vintage books, books for like decor, junk journaling, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll probably do like a flats show on Sunday. I was going to do this tonight, but I keep having to move it back because I keep finding other things I have to do. And I keep not being able to get the right amount of books in that show. But we're going to do that soon. It's going to be fun. But yeah. So let me see who we can raid real quick. Let me see if there's anybody on. I appreciate the Anne Franklin book and Diabetic. I really appreciate it as well. I honestly really didn't think I'd sell anything this show. I'm very surprised. We'll do this more often. And this particular show will just pop up as I move the books over. But it is definitely something that is going to be a high priority. What was I doing? Rating. That's what I was doing. Sorry. I've got a lot going on today. Boom. Books. All right, let's check it out. Who's on? What's up, Crispy? Caffeine. We're caught us at the tail end of the show. We're getting ready to raid somebody. Let's raid somebody. June Reed Rain Train. There's a lot of people in that one. There's me. Hi, me. Let's go to... She's been streaming for a while. Termite. New inventory. These are cool. Do you think those are sprayed? Those are all sprayed edges. Let's go to Reading is Dreaming because we're the sprayed edges. All right. So, guys, I will see you tomorrow night. Tomorrow night will be a multi-hour stream. We'll be on probably around 6 Central, and we'll be on Bring Coffee, beer, whatever it is that you want. We'll hang out, and there'll be a shit ton of books for us to kind of geek out. And that will be an auction, and it'll be a lot more fast-paced. But until then, let's raid this, folks, and I'll see you soon. Confirmed.